707. Let's keep it on the phones here. They came out with a release yesterday, and we're going to bring on the Republican Party of Guam chair, former Senator Tony Atta, and then after that, we'll hear from the Democratic Party chair, the newly elected Democratic Party chair, Sarah Thomas Nettie Dog. So let's go and get Senator Atta now. I understand that you filed for your candidacy, so don't say anything like vote for Tony Atta. We're only talking about Republican Party of Guam business.
Yeah, no, not at all. Good morning, Chris. Good
morning.
Good morning.
So you guys, this
How are
is
you
we're doing good. You came out with a release. There was a couple this week, but it's kind of consistent. You guys have been saying during this pandemic, and I believe I'm going to quote a previous release you guys had: "Give credit where credit is due."
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess this is in a response to somebody had asked we had asked the governor to respond to Congressman St. Nicholas's Facebook post, and then she had in her answer had said that we're very competent, and her administration has doled out millions upon millions of dollars in the different aid.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Chris, the billion-dollar question is, who actually did that? And it was the Congress and the president who actually infused $1 billion into our local economy. The government, the local government, all their job was to do is to, ensure that they process and immediately release the money to the recipient. So, again, like our last release, give credit where credit is due, and I think the credit belongs to the president and to Congress for absolutely not leaving out the people of Guam and the territory.
All right. And you also issued another press release, the Republican Party, and this one is regarding what happened over the weekend at the Adelup Breezeway. And Ken Leon Guerrero, he's also a candidate for senator. He wrote, I believe, I want to say the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
He filed a complaint also regarding how they were politicking, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think he called it a mini Hatch Act violation.
There you go. So then you would have filed it with the CSC. Civil Service
Yeah, so, we followed up with Ken on that activity that happened over the weekend. I think they had two activities down there at Adelup, and I think the first one was their elections, and then followed by their petition signing down.
Voter registration.
Yeah. So the question is, you always trust but verify. We want to make sure that candidates don't get in trouble for the things that they do, and but most especially when it comes to government facilities. And when Mr. Leon Guerrero, who is a candidate, brought that to the attention, we had to act on it and ensure that they're in compliance with the GEC and also with the Election Commission. We want to make sure that they come out with something saying, yes, it's okay, so that candidates can do what they need to do to ensure that they get their signatures and they can go on campaign. So if there's not an issue with that, then I think everything will be okay.
Well, we did that. We had executive director of the Guam Election Commission, Maria Pangilinan, on, I want to say Monday. Was it Monday? Yeah, Monday. And she had said she didn't see anything in the law, and then she referred us to Department of Public Works. Funny story. So we had acting DPR director and DPW deputy director Jess Garcia on, and he then deferred it back to the Guam Election Commission. And then the Election Commission, one of the
she talked about the Civil Service Commission. The
yeah,
Civil Service Commission comes in and they do
check
presentations.
Because they do the presentations of the mini Hatch Act. But I think someone had said that if they had rented the property, like you would rent a pavilion or other type of government property, that then the activity would be okay. But we're getting Sarah on, and then I want, of course, I told her we're going to ask you about this, so maybe she can offer more clarity. But what have you guys heard on your end?
Well, we haven't heard anything from those organizations or those agencies. And I think the other question is, did it go against the governor's executive order, right, where, you still can't have organized activities going on? I'm pretty sure there's sports activities, sports organizations that want to continue with their sporting activities. But because the executive order doesn't allow organized activities, then did the Democrat Party of Guam go against the governor's executive order? So, it's a twofold thing here. So hopefully Sarah can, bring clarification to it. And like I said, it's all good for the candidates so that we can turn around and ensure what is allowable, what's not allowable. And so both candidates on both sides can be in compliance with the law.
Well, why don't you guys just go down to Adelup and do the same thing and then see what happens? I mean, you're trying to make a statement, Tony. That's how you make a statement.
Yeah, but we want to do it. We want to make statements, factual statements, and in the right way. Two wrongs don't make a right. So we just want to make sure that we're both on the right and everything's good to go with them. So
Are you? I was reading the release. It says something about submitting an inquiry to the Office of the Attorney General regarding this matter. Is that transpired?
Yeah, we're getting together with our executive committee to come up with the verbiage and the letter to the AG so that we can ensure that we got all our bases covered when we do submit our letter to the AG.
Mm-hmm. Have you had a chance to meet or speak with the new Democratic Party chairperson, Sarah Thomas Nedadog? She was on our show, I believe it was last week, and she was talking about reaching out to the Republican Party and meeting.
Definitely.
I saw a picture. There was a picture going around with some of the people from the Republican Party and then some from the Democrats. So was that? Can you tell us more about that? What event was that?
We had a lunch together, and we sat down, congratulated her, for becoming the chairwoman of the Democrat Party of Guam, and talked about how is it that we can move forward and ensure that this election process will be, everything that our island is going through right now. We want to ensure that when election time does come around, that we keep our people safe, we keep the candidates safe, and ensure that when they go out to vote, that they know that the integrity of our election process is intact, and that they have that commitment from both parties.
Were there more than 25 people at that gathering, Senator?
Oh no, not at all.
Okay.
maybe.
No, I mean the petition drive at Adelup.
Talking about the lunch.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure there was more than 25 people.
Is that what's the limit on the gatherings? It's still 25.
Yeah, but I don't think it's more of the gatherings, right? I think it's more of the governor's executive order on organized events, right? So the party is still an organization, and the question is, did they violate the governor's executive order on no organized events? I mean, because if they're going to have an organized event, and I'm pretty sure the sporting events would want to come out and do their biking or do their rugby or do their football, whatever it may be, so that they can get back to practicing. However, everyone's still on prohibited from or having their events.
Mm-hmm. So just going back to that meeting with the Democratic Party, so what did you guys agree to a ceasefire or
yeah,
what?
I mean, you had this meeting and then you go and put out these hater press releases.
Oh no, it's we are still the chairs for both the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, and we still have to do what we need to do. We can agree to disagree, but we need to do it respectfully. And both Sarah and I agreed that we'll be respectful of each other. It doesn't mean that we cannot call out each other, but it just means to be respectful. And there's still life after elections, and there's relationships that are built. And Guam is small, and we are all, and just about everyone's family here. But you still need to do what we need to do and separate the two, however, but do it respectfully.
And don't take it personal.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So those are what we need to ensure that not just our candidates, but also our parties, our party executives, that they know what we're doing. And Guam is family, and especially during these hard times, we want to make sure that we don't put any more undue stress that's not necessary onto our people.
Mm-hmm. So was there any particular issues or instances that were brought up where either party may have crossed the line? No,
there wasn't. We just spoke about congratulating her again on her chairmanship, and then just talking about how's everything, how's everyone doing on both sides, and like I said, how we can make this election, perhaps probably an election to remember, right? Not because it's just another election, but because these are trying times. How we're going to move forward in ensuring that our people are, taken care of, and also ensuring that the election process is, like I said, intact, and the integrity of the election process will always be there.
I was looking over the list over at the Guam Election Commission. They update it daily for people that have either picked up packets or people that have actually filed. And, on both sides, it's hardly anybody is filed yet. And, the deadline is about a week away, June 30th.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Are we going to see a slate of 15 candidates on the Republican side or more?
I'm sure both sides are looking to ensure that they get their petition. And I think that was the problem, was the petitions, because of the lockdown for 3 months. Candidates were not able to go out and get their petitions signed. So everybody's just trying to hustle, trying to get their petitions and get everything together so they can submit their documentation and become a candidate for the upcoming primary election. But I'm confident that we'll get our 15 candidates, and also for the congressional delegate seat, for the mayoral and vice mayoral seats.
Right. Well, you are the chair of the party. Has it been difficult to recruit candidates?
Oh, definitely. It's a process that has been difficult, over the many years. And I think it's people that are just they're hesitant to come out and actually go through the process, because it is a long process, right? You got to put out your financial disclosure. You got to go through this candidate what they call it, a book that you have to ensure that everything is correct, and how to campaign properly, and all these things. And people are cut out for it, and some are not. But those that put themselves out and campaign and actually pick up a packet, my hat's off to them, because it's not easy, and everyone wants to ensure that the next slate of legislators, or the next slate of mayors and vice mayors, or in Congress, that we have who are going to be for the people of Guam, and helping our people on our island in these trying times.
Just to clarify, Senator, will the Republican Party of Guam be endorsing Congressman Michael San Nicolas or candidate Will Castro? I'm just curious, because we had Juan Carlos Benitez on, and he couldn't bring himself to say anything negative about San Nicolas. So I just was wondering, because I'm pretty sure that, you guys are very close with the delegate. So I'm just wondering how, Senator Will's feeling this.
Senator Will Castro is a Republican, and the Republican Party will support Senator Will Castro. He's the only candidate for the Republican Party of Guam. We're going full steam ahead with him. You
better check your executive committee.
What we do, and what we do with Delegate San Nicolas is, we want to ensure that things that are going on in D.C. does not exclude the territory or our people. And sometimes we, once the election process is over, we need to work together. And I think we've proven that we work together with the delegate to ensure that everything that's going up into Congress, or issues that we are fighting for, that we do it with one voice. And that's truly, we need to do this one voice, because I've seen it over, and I've been in office, and I've seen it happen, where we talk about one voice, but yet we're not doing it. We're not practicing what we preach. And the war claims issue was one of them, where we worked together to ensure that, it was a process that was not glorified, or, a process that was not easy to do, but it was a process that had to be done, and it had to be done for our people. So anything that is beneficial to our people, our island, we will continue to work with whoever is there, be it a Democrat, be it a Republican. And I think that, when we do things in that manner, and we look at the human factor behind it, then I think we're going to be able to win a lot of our things. I mean, when you see Congressman San Nicolas bring up other issues, got more money for road paving and things like that. I mean, that's not an issue that's going to benefit him, or that's going to benefit our people. That's going to benefit our industry. Smoother roads will mean smoother rides for our families. You know, less broken cars. Tourists will be able to come and enjoy the island. I mean, there are many issues that need to be worked on together, and that's what we're going to do is work on issues together after the elections, right? I mean, election is election. You know, you're going to be a Republican, you're going to be a Democrat, but like they always say, even in the legislature, they say it. You know, once the elections are over, we're going to work together. But I think
Who said that?
a lot of candidates,
Okay.
right? Yeah. So
I don't really see it, but right.
and that's what I'm saying, Chris,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
no, I get it. I get what you're
you
saying.
said
You
it.
work with
Yeah.
I got it.
Can you
Yeah,
give
we
us
said it, right?
Can you give us a preview of some of the Republicans candidates that we might be seeing on the ballot?
Well, you're going to be seeing, J.I. Cruz for sure, Vince Borja. You're going to be seeing the incumbents, our incumbents, Telotaitigui, Mary Torres, Jim Moylan. Who else?
Yourself?
Gosh.
Yourself?
Well, myself is
Yeah.
later. So.
Right.
But, we're going to see all these candidates come out. And
That's 6.
We're going to have
Ken Leon Guerrero.
7.
Ken Leon Guerrero is going to be there. Frank Blas Jr.
8.
I mean, we're going to have
what
a
about
lot of good
Joanne
candidates.
Brown? We keep seeing Joanne Brown.
Brown is going to be there.
9.
What about La Morena?
Well, Tony, we still tried to get Tony Lamarena to come on board, and he was still thinking about it. And who knows? Maybe come June 29th, he may file and say, "Yeah, I'm
What
going to
about
be there."
Ray Tenorio?
No, Ray Tenorio is he's not a candidate in this election. Who knows? He'll be a candidate in the next election.
What? Okay, so this is 9.
I mean, we got good people coming out, and I think once.
What about new people?
Yeah, we hear
Aside from
we hear
Vince,
some new names.
Vince
Like
Borja and J.I.
we hear some young women that very popular in social media. Their names keep getting thrown around. Is there anything you can tell us?
Yeah,
about
we got Sandra Regis, we got Michelle, our
Michelle Armolenta.
yeah. I mean, we have
11.
many good candidates coming out, and I think the thing about our candidates coming out is that they're very diversified in issues that they want to bring forward, and like everyone has to have a platform that is inclusive of different issues and different topics. However, they'll also have platforms that are very specific, right, on what they want to do and what they want to tackle when they become a senator.
Senator,
it's going to be.
Sorry, are you getting candidates who are normally Democrats, but for whatever reason, maybe they're in opposition with the administration and then running on the Republican side?
What was that, Chris? You cut out.
Oh, sorry. Are you getting any candidates who maybe traditionally would have run as Democrats, but because maybe they don't agree with what's going on in the administration, they're coming over to you guys and running?
No, I believe that the candidates that come out, for or against the administration, no, I think we're getting candidates who are just want to be candidates. I don't think we have anyone that went against them.
I don't mean against, but maybe
or
critical,
that
or
are with them. That are with them. So we're just working on candidates that are very diversified and in the community. I mean, even look at I probably didn't mention her, but our good minority leader, Senator Telotaitigui. So we got many good candidates on our side, and we hope that come election time that the people of Guam say, yeah, you know what, we need the checks and balances in there. We need to ensure that we get a Republican majority. We need to put a Republican in Congress, and we need to get the mayors and vice mayors to be Republicans, so that we ensure that what the administration does, we keep an eye on them and ensure that there's transparency, there's accountability, and there's integrity in the process that goes on, and ensures that the fundings go out to the community, that the funding that's coming into the island is going to where it's supposed to be going.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Senator.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day.
Wash your hands.
Always.
Okay.
You guys too.
There you go.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, and that I think that's going to be their pitch there, Bree, is they can go out and say, hey, the Democratic supermajority, they didn't hold the administration accountable. They can say that, and it's true.
Why do you think that?
Well, I mean, we've seen it. It's just it's not. They haven't
They
really been.
overrode the transparency
Right?
bill.
Yeah. No. I'm saying for the most part, that's what people are going to say. You know, they. I think in talking to people, they're very disappointed with, and not to. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a whole body. I'm just going to say they're disappointed with the way the Democratic supermajority hasn't really lived up to its role as a check and balance in this government of Guam.
I mean, they couldn't really meet at the beginning of this because of COVID and social distancing.
Yeah, I don't know. If we want to go back to that, remember there were some senators who did want to, and there were others who. Do you remember the speaker? Basically, the governor said, "I got this," and the speaker took the ball and went home. Remember, they couldn't have session for a while.
Yeah, there were some senators that did introduce programs and legislation, but then the governor came in with her own ideas and plans.
Then they threw those to the wayside. So yeah, I mean, I if I was the Republicans, I would just be all day like, they failed. They weren't checks and balances. I mean, that's all they got to do, really. Unfortunately for the Democrats, it's a bed they made that they got to sleep in. 7:28. We'll take a short break, and we're going to go to the other side of this conversation and talk with the newly elected Democratic Party chair, Sarah Thomas Netty Dog, next on Containing COVID. Good morning.
Keeping you informed, KUAM News brings you Banking 671, brought to you by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, and Coast 360 Federal.